next question is related to the satellites only. So basically, whenever we say that ISRO has launched some satellites, or private companies like yours or SpaceX launched so many satellites, what is the actual use of satellites in terms of our daily life? Because people usually don't know what a satellite in Earth's orbit play a very important role in their daily life. Right. So can you give some examples like why we should need to spend more money in launching satellites?
Okay. So you daily use your Google Maps, right? So mapping your entire, basically they've mapped entire Earth on that. You have all the countries, everything is mapped properly into those Google Maps that they've done. So they use satellites for that. So they have satellites they have satellites to do the entire imaging of the Earth, entire mapping of the Earth. That is one use. Then you are using communication. So we have communication satellites. So you watch TV, right? So TV again, how do you get the reception for that? So that is again with the help of a communication satellite. Then there are other uses, like those are not, you might not be able to relate to them, but uses like disaster management support. Disaster management support or agriculture or forestry department, all of these departments use satellites for the help of imaging, for the help of soil mapping. So all these things require a use of your satellites itself. So coming back to the communication part, you can now actually there is a shift now from RF transmission. So satellites use RF transmission, radio frequency transmissions. So those RF transmissions, with the help of those transmissions, we are able to communicate with each other, or we are able to get the reception for the TV. But now we are shifting towards optical transmissions, fiber optics. So yeah, there is a shift there, definitely, and that is why we are actually going RF mute. There's a term called RF, like we are going RF mute. That is, we are not emitting so much of RF frequency into the space as we were in the last 50 years. We were emitting so much radio frequency waves, but now we have reduced that because we are mostly doing our communication through fiber optics now. So there is a shift there, but still, so these are the uses of satellites according to me. Communication, and then road mapping, everything maps. So for all of these things, we require satellites.
So basically, you said we used to emit a lot of radio frequency waves before, right? Now we don't. So like, is it bad?
We do. No, we do use still, and it's definitely not a bad thing. It's because your fiber optics are faster. Your fiber optics, it uses light waves, right? So it's definitely faster in communication, and it's error free. So you have a lot of error in RF transmission that we'll have to correct for. So the error reduces in communication, and it is definitely a faster communication. It is not a bad thing at all. It is just a phase change. So earlier we were focused on RF waves, RF for communication. Now we are shifting towards optical fiber communication. So this is just a phase change. It is definitely not a bad thing. Why I was saying RF mute was we always wonder that we are releasing radio frequency waves into the space. And if there is anyone if there is some other species in space, they would be able to hear us through those RF waves that we release, RF frequency waves that we release into the space. So we are actually reducing that now. So there is less chances of someone discovering us. So that was the only reason I mentioned the RF mute phase. But yeah, it's definitely just a phase change. Nothing bad in moving to fiber optics.
Existence of aliens is some another debate. So the reason I asked about whether it's good or bad, because the last guest was my friend who is an environment specialist, right? So she has a specialty in climate change. So she gave so many examples of human behavior that is causing climate change. Like almost everything we do every day has contributed somewhere into the climate change. So I thought maybe this is
Definitely.
also something that is causing climate change, and people are like, thank God we are not putting radio waves right now.
I am not sure. I can't comment on that part. But definitely, I think there would be some advantages for that. I'm not sure. I really can't comment on that part.
So